Hello, welcome to Cody's Game Shelf. I've had people literally for years asking me to talk about what I've got on my shelf and go through my shelves. So I thought, might as well go through and show everybody what games I have and where I have them. Now, I should point out my shelves are always changing, they're always morphing, they're always in flux, but this is the first one I'm going to start with. I'm actually going to start with the top of this shelf and then this shelf here as well. First of all, up here I have got... in Still and Shrink, I haven't opened it, this pack with additional die and characters for your game of Betrayal and House of the Hill, which I have right here. I haven't opened this yet, haven't played with it. I don't know. I don't know if I will. I might give that to Zach. I know he loves Betrayal and House of the Hill. We'll see what happens. Here is the big bad boy, and so it's kind of appropriate we really start this series right here with War Room. This is my favorite game of all time. It's a World War II game. I've talked about it many times on the show, and I really, really like it. It's by Larry Harris, who designed Axis and Allies, and this game is kind of the game you always wanted Axis and Allies to be. Every time I play Axis and Allies, I'd always imagine it to be something similar to War Room. It's got various resources. You've got the staves where you're moving units back and forth. Really good. If you like Axis and Allies, you will love this game. It's Axis and Allies on steroids. All right, let's go ahead and move down here. So first of all, we have Betrayal and House of the Hill, which I just mentioned. Betrayal and House of the Hill is a great horror game. I believe this is one of Zach's favorite games of all time. I really like it. I don't like it as much as he does, but it's fun. You're going through. You don't know how it's going to end. You have different adventures. One of you turns out to be a hidden traitor. This was actually, if I'm not mistaken, this was the very first review copy a company ever sent me. When I was doing reviews for the Deseret News, I was writing reviews. They sent me this copy, so I think that's the very first one I ever did. Right down here, I got Betrayal at Baldur's Gate. This is kind of a successor, a spiritual sequel to Betrayal and House of the Hill. This one is fantasy, Dungeons and Dragons, but it's essentially the same thing. You got a hidden traitor. You're laying down tiles. Very fun game. Kind of the same thing. I like it there. Cash and Guns. Cash and Guns is a tremendously fun game. Cash and Guns it's kind of one of the few party games, I guess you'd call it, that I have in my collection that I really, really love. It's just goofy fun. You got these fake styrofoam guns. It's the end of a loot or end of a robbery. You're all divvying up the loot, and then you're all trying to steal it for yourself. But it's a real fun experience. I always have a good time with Cash and Guns. Good party game. Now here I've got two of the Space Marine Adventures games. I've got the Doomsday Countdown, which I played just a few months ago, and then the Labyrinth of the Necrons, which I've had for a few years. These are actually, I keep these here because I don't think I've ever played one with other people, and they're both really good solo games. I think Labyrinth of the Necrons is still my favorite, but Doomsday Countdown was pretty good as well. So I'm hanging on to both of those. At some point I may get rid of Doomsday Countdown, I don't know, but I'll probably hang on to Labyrinth of the Necrons entirely. Okay, here we go. This is the first one. It's not going to be the last one you're going to see in this series. This is my Shelf of Shame. This is Maria. I haven't played Maria, and I really want to, because I love Frederick, and it's kind of a spiritual successor to Frederick. Frederick is a great game. I've played this many times. It's kind of usually my top 10 games of all time. Essentially, it's Frederick the Great versus everybody else, but you got to check your supply lines, and combat's really cool because you're playing like card suits, diamonds, clubs, whatnot. Depending on the terrain you're on, that's what that does. So I really like Frederick, and I've got to play Maria at some point. This is Final Girl, which I just played recently, and Final Girl is really cool because it comes in the core box, and then you can't play the complete game with just the core box. You need the expansions that are like different movies, different horror movies. But they're solo games. They set up really cool. Parts of the box then become the game boards that you use. It's a tremendously fun solo game, and I really like soloing with Final Girl. So that one's fun as well. All right, so that is number one. We'll go through more of my game shelves coming up in the coming weeks. So let me know, do you like these games? Do you not like these games? It's a new series. What can I say? We'll figure it out as we go along. All right, take it easy. Somebody